I showed up to my parents' lavish anniversary dinner, only to hear, "Sorry, you're not invited, leave." Then they called security and said, "Get this beggar out," so I walked away, quietly cancelled every payment, party, and trip. $62K worth. Minutes later, my phone lit up with 36 missed calls, and someone showed up at my door. Update 3. The drive home passed in a blur. My vision tunneled as I navigated through downtown Seattle on autopilot. At one point, I nearly sideswiped a car when changing lanes, the angry honk barely registering through my shock. Beggar, the word kept replaying in my mind, my father's disgusted face accompanying it like a terrible slideshow. I somehow made it to my apartment building in Queen Anne, a modern high-rise with views of the Space Needle. I'd purchased the condo 2 years ago, a personal milestone I'd celebrated alone with a bottle of champagne. My family had never visited despite numerous invitations. In the parking garage, I turned off the engine and sat in silence. The carefully wrapped gift box mocked me from the passenger seat. The expensive dress suddenly felt constricting, the professional makeup a mask. For several minutes, I just breathed, trying to process what had happened. When the first sob broke free, it startled me with its intensity. Then another came and another until I was gasping for air between violent cries. My carefully applied makeup streamed down my face as years of rejection crystallized into this one devastating moment. I don't know how long I sat there, but eventually my phone rang. The screen showed my best friend Jordan's name. With shaking hands, I answered, "Hey Mac, how's the fancy party? Are they treating you like the princess you are for once?" Her cheerful voice was jarring against my emotional state. "They kicked me out," I whispered, my voice raspy from crying. "What? I can't hear you, the connection's bad." "They had security remove me," I said louder, a fresh sob escaping. "Wait, what?" Jordan's shock came through clearly. "Where are you right now?" "In my car, parking garage." "Stay there, I'm coming over, 20 minutes tops." True to her word, Jordan arrived in record time. When she saw me still sitting in my car, mascara streaked down my face, she opened the passenger door, moved the gift box, and pulled me into a fierce hug. "Tell me everything," she demanded. So I did, the words pouring out between fresh bouts of tears. The guest list exclusion, my parents' cold dismissal, the security escort, the beggar comment. Jordan listened, her expression transitioning from shock to outrage. "Those entitled manipulative soul-sucking vampires." She finally spat when I finished. "Mac, this is beyond dysfunctional, this is abuse." "They're my family," I said weakly, the default response I'd used to justify their behavior for years. "No," Jordan said firmly. "Family doesn't treat each other like ATMs. Family doesn't publicly humiliate each other. Family doesn't take and take, and take and take without giving anything back." We made our way up to my apartment where Jordan helped me out of the designer dress, and into comfortable clothes. She removed my ruined makeup, while I sat numbly on the edge of my bathtub. Then she poured us both large glasses of wine, and ordered delivery from my favorite Thai restaurant. "You know the worst part," I said, staring into my wine glass. "I have records of everything I've ever given them, every loan, every gift, every bill paid. I keep meticulous financial records. It's literally my job, but I've never had the courage to add it all up." "Maybe it's time," Jordan suggested quietly. I nodded, reaching for my laptop. While we waited for the food, I opened my personal finance tracking software. I had a special category labeled Family Support, that I had been faithfully documenting for years. With a few clicks, I generated a report. The total made us both gasp. $327,845.38 over the past decade. "My God, Mac," Jordan whispered. "That's a house, that's multiple college educations, that's retirement savings." I scrolled through the itemized list, memories attached to each entry. Eric's failed businesses, Heather's wedding and subsequent home renovation, my parents' mortgage payments, during the rough patches that somehow never ended, medical bills, car payments, luxury vacations I wasn't invited to join, and that doesn't even include tonight's deposit. I said hollowly. Something shifted inside me as I stared at the number. A quiet rage began to replace the hurt and confusion. I opened my credit card app to check recent transactions, and discovered something that made my blood boil. "They're still using my card," I said in disbelief. "Look at these charges from today. Additional catering $4,500. Premium bar package, $3,200. Anniversary cake from Celebrity Bakery, $800. They didn't even tell me," I whispered. "They just kept charging." On a hunch, I opened Instagram. Sure enough, Heather had already posted photos from the event. One showed my parents cutting the elaborate cake I had unknowingly paid for. The caption read, "Celebrating 40 years of the perfect love story with our tight-knit family. So blessed to have parents who taught us what unconditional love truly means." I scrolled through more photos. One showed Eric presenting my parents with what appeared to be plane tickets. His caption, "Alaska cruise for the anniversary couple. Can't wait to hear about your adventures." The cruise I had booked and paid for 3 months ago, presented as his gift. Another photo showed Heather's husband raising a toast to Richard and Elizabeth, and the wonderful family vacation they're hosting for all of us in Disneyland next month. The Disneyland trip I had arranged and funded as a surprise for my niece and nephew now being claimed by others. They're taking credit for my gifts, I said, my voice strangely calm now. They're using my money to buy themselves adoration. Jordan looked at the phone, then at me. What are you going to do? I closed the laptop and set down my wine glass. The hurt was still there, but now it was crystallizing into something harder, more resolute. I am done being their ATM. I slept surprisingly well that night, as if my body needed to shut down and process the trauma. When I woke up the next morning, the events of the previous night came flooding back, but the overwhelming emotion had been replaced by something else. Determination. I showered, made coffee, and sat at my kitchen island with my laptop. It was Sunday, so my office was closed, but I texted my assistant, Chloe, who had been with me for 5 years, and knew more about my family's situation than anyone except Jordan. Need your help with something personal. Can you come by my apartment around 10 o'clock? She replied immediately. Of course. Everything okay? It will be, I wrote back. Now you can watch the fourth part by pressing share and more.